Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Sunset Over Water Pocket Edition. And as you can see, we're over water right now.
That's right. We have a beautiful view of Lake Michigan and some buildings.
And some buildings, yes. So this is designed...
I get to see the sunset over water, or sunrise over water, but not the sunset.
It was lovely, yeah. It's been really fun. But this is designed by Steve Fenn. The artwork is by Beth Sobel, and it is published by Pencil First Games.
All right, so you guys, this is kind of a pick up and deliver style game. It's also majorly a set collection game. It has beautiful landscapes that you are hiking around trying to get as many paintings done as possible. And then ultimately you're going to sell those paintings for a commission. You got some daily goals. You're trying to get as many points as possible in as many different ways as possible. Let me show you how it works. All right, here's our setup for Sunset Over Water. What we've got in the middle of our board here is we have a 5x5 grid of all these different landscapes. What we're doing is we're going on these hikes to paint these landscapes that we can see. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is we're trying to paint these different landscapes in order to sell them as a commission with this bottom row here. What you're going to do at the beginning of the game is you're going to deal out as many cards as there are players plus one. But then also on top of the deck, you're going to reveal the top card, showing what's going to come up in the future. Let me kind of go over what those different commissions might look like. So here's one that says you need to have exactly one sun symbol on a landscape, and then another landscape that has exactly two features on it. We've got another one that says you need to have those two symbols for sure, plus a third one. This one says you need to have a sun plus something else as well. So a 3 and a 2 landscape feature. This particular one says you need to have 3 separate features, all containing water in at least some way, whether it's by itself or with other things as well. And sometimes you might need just one symbol by itself. The victory points are at the very top there, so you're trying to achieve as many of those commissions as possible. Another way you can earn victory points is these daily goals. So every day what you're going to do is you're going to flip over that top card of that daily goal deck, and this particular one says, the last person to move diagonally is going to get 2 points. Well, how are you going to determine which cards you're going to pick up, which paintings you're going to paint, and how are you going to determine who's the last player to move? Well, every player is going to have their own individual player deck, as well as a couple kind of player aids as well. It's nice to kind of give you all the different actions that you can take on your turn. Out of your deck, what you're going to do is you're going to draw the top 3 cards of it, and you're going to reveal them. It's going to give you some pieces of information. It's going to tell you what time you're going to wake up. You're going to tell you how many moves you can make in what direction, and how many different landscapes you're able to paint. So for instance, let's say we wanted to do this one. So what we would do is we would take the other 2 cards, we put them at the bottom of our deck, we put this face down in front of us, and once all players have decided, what we're going to do is we are going to play our cards in front of us, and we are going to determine the player order. So based off the cards that everyone shows, you're going to take your turns in that order. So on your turn, you're going to move around in the directions that your card said, and you're going to be able to pick up as many cards as it said. So remember, as R said, we were able to move diagonally, and we were able to move 3 spots, picking up 2 cards along the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to move diagonally kind of here down over here to the bottom, and we're going to pick up 2 cards along the way. You can pick up the spots where you started, as long as there's no one else there. Let's say that everyone else had woken up before us and taken their turns before us, and we were the last person to move, and we were able to move diagonally. We would be able to take this daily goal, and those would be our points at the end of the game. As far as the cards that we were able to draw, what we've got here is we've got a 1 water symbol, and we have a symbol over here with the mountains, water, and sun. Well, you know what? This card right here requires something with mountains, sun, and something else, and this over here requires just a card with 1 symbol on it. So what we could do is we could discard these 2 cards in order to achieve this commission. So that's really how the game is going to go. You're going to choose a card that's going to determine your wake-up time, where you're going to be able to move, and how many cards you're going to be able to pick up. You're going to turn those cards in for commissions, as well as trying to achieve those daily goals. We're going to play a total of 6 rounds, and at the end of the 6 rounds, whoever has the most points wins the game. You might also have some extra cards at the end of the game, some paintings that you've painted that you were not able to sell as commissions. But what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to count up all the symbols on those cards, divide that by 2, and you're going to get some extra bonus points based off of the leftover cards you have. There's also a mini expansion called Nature's Muse. What's basically going to happen with this is you're going to, at the beginning of the game, draw one of these cards, flip it over, and these are all different symbols that you're going to try to hunt for the entire game. At the end of the game, you're going to look at your commissions, and for every one of those symbols that are on your commissions, you're going to count those up. At the end of the game, whoever has the most amount of Muse connections is going to get 3 points. If there's a tie, each player is going to get 1 point. But no matter what, whoever has the most points at the end of the 6th and final round wins.
I really liked those daily goals because it gave you something that you could try to work for, even if you weren't able to get what you wanted. So if you knew that you were going to have to go later because you wanted to save your better cards for later on in the game, or somebody just beat you to it, I like that the daily goals are for the last person that does it. So it doesn't matter if other people beat you to it. You still have that extra thing. It kind of it really evens it out a lot, so that way people don't just like get ahead of everybody. It's a nice rounding tone to the game.
The artwork in this game was incredible. It was just so serene and peaceful, right? This is the best Sobel art that you would expect, and it's just gorgeous. It ties the theme together really nicely, but also when you're playing this, it just gives you that kind of that calming, sensation when you're coming at home from a long day at work or whatever, and you get to play this game. It just relaxes you just a little bit. I love the artwork in this game.
I really like how the commission cards, so you have the cards up depending on the amount of players, but you always have that one card that's available that but you see that's not available, but it's going to be coming. So sometimes you just can't, with the cards you have and where the cards are placed, you're just not going to be able to get anything that round, but you can always plan ahead. Granted, everybody else is also planning ahead to that same card, but still, you can still try to plan ahead, so I like that sneak peek that it gives you.
There's actually more ways than you would think that you can get victory points. The main way is those commission cards, right? You want to try to get those as much as possible. But also those daily goals are really interesting. Yeah. It makes you think twice about how early and how late you want to wake up. Do you wake up early so you can get those, as many cards as possible, or the right cards that you need? Or do you wake up later in order to lock in those daily goals? Or there was a game I played where I just tried to go for the cards that had the most amount of symbols on them.
Yeah.
And if I had the opportunity to sell them for commissions, that's great too. But at the end of the game, I got a ton of points just for...
He won using that strategy.
Yeah. And then as I mentioned that Muse little mini expansion, just another way to get a few more extra points in there. So there's actually surprisingly more routes than you would see at face value to get some points in this game.
Well, this is exactly what you would expect in a pocket edition of game. It's the game in just a smaller form. I mean, as you can see right now, we're actually in a hotel and we brought it with us to play because it just is super travel friendly. It's exactly what you would want in something like this.
100%. I mean, this is it's on the lighter side, right? But at the same time, there's not without some level of thinkiness to it, a little bit of strategy as you're kind of planning to get ahead to get those commissions and what you need to get. I think this is that great kind of that light game that Steve Finn is amazing at those kinds of games that that don't stress you out, but at the same time that get you thinking a little bit. I think that's just a really nice after work game. I mean, this is not a game that I'm going to bring to my the strategy game nights or whatever like that. It's probably not going to be a game that's sitting on the shelf and someone's like, "Hey, what's that about? Let's play that."
But you'll bring it to the hotel.
But I'll bring it to the hotel.
Yeah.
This will be one that we can keep in the purse or in the pocket or whatever, in the bottom of the game bag that we
in
can
the pocket.
In the pocket edition. This is one of those games that bring out with you, and I think it's just you have a great time. This is a very, very peaceful game, lovely, and just makes you think just a little bit.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you so much for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
But not here. You can't find us in Look at Me Soon after today.
No, you can't. You won't be able to find us here after today.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye everybody.